Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Super Bowl week edition of Every Day is Draft Day. I am your host, as always, Dan Turner. Joining me, as always, my wonderful co-host, Steffi Smalls. What is up, Steph?
Hello, Daniel. I can't believe how fast this week went by.
It did. It was quick.
Like I thought it was Wednesday, and then now I feel like it's Friday. Thursday kind of didn't exist, even though that's where we are, but it definitely went by super, super fast. I'm very excited. This is
Yes,
also like our 17th show of the day. So
it is.
I'm having just a great time talking about it.
Yes, yes. We've had a lot of shows. It seems like just got off the plane from Alabama, and we're already 2 days away
Yeah.
from 3 days away from Super Bowl. So
Yeah.
it went fast. It went fast.
It did.
Yeah, but that's how it works. It's a busy week. It's an exciting week. So let's jump right into it.
Should we have a moment about Harden or no? Because I feel like we kind of have to.
Yeah, go ahead. You can start. I want you. I want you
No.
to have your. No, yeah. Go ahead.
Listen, I love Harden. Well,
Yeah.
it's complicated right now. I loved Harden.
Uh-huh.
I still have love in my heart for him, but I hope he gets fat off Philly cheesesteaks. I don't care about Simmons. I totally ignored that part, and I'm happy for you, but just know that he will break your heart too, because he cannot sit
He
still.
he won't break my heart
He's
because
going to. That's what I
no,
thought
he
too. And
won't.
look at me, like a
He won't.
jokester.
It's all about managing expectations, and you can't be any
Mm.
worse than Ben Simmons, who literally didn't do anything all year. So that's what I have, and he's
Okay,
going to be on the
Daniel.
court. He's still a good. I'm not saying. Obviously, we're not going to get prime MVP Houston James Harden. He doesn't exist. But he's going to be on the court. We can actually run a half court offense now, which we haven't been able to do the entire time Ben Simmons has been there. He'll actually want to shoot threes.
Okay, my feelings are getting so hurt. Like I don't even want to talk about it. I lied.
And Harden Embiid is going to be amazing.
Okay.
And I can't wait.
I'm good now. I'm glad that we did that. I just figured you'd make a jab at some point, and
No, there's no jabs.
yeah. Okay.
No jabs.
Fine. Don't be so nice.
No. What up, Brad? Thanks for.
Hey, Brad. How's it going? All the way in Australia.
Yeah. All the way Australia. Yeah, but yeah, I'm just happy that Ben Simmons is no longer around. So good luck with him. Good luck. All right. Now the things that actually matter this week. Super Bowl time. So Bengals versus Rams. Let's talk about the Bengals first. What do you think, in your esteemed opinion, the Bengals need to do to win this game?
That interior O-line needs to they need to definitely, and even last week they did play better, honestly. Like as much as we want to knock them, they did enough. They need to do a little bit more than enough to be able to stop the pressure that's going to be coming at them. I understand in the Titans game, 9 sack, he was fine, they won, blah blah blah. It feels like a little bit different type of pressure. I think I see the Bengals abandoning the run earlier than probably expected, which is why I'm staying away from a lot of those rushing props. But I think it's just about protecting Burrow. If you can even give Burrow just a little bit more time, can you imagine what he can do? So, we've seen them beat teams that everyone thought they don't count them out, because they do have the things they need to win this game.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I think that in doing the research for my prediction article, like everyone, like obviously Aaron Donald and Von Miller, like everyone knows what they can do, but like the Rams as a team just have not been sacking people as much as people think they have. Like I understand that Cincinnati has O-line issues, and everyone wants to highlight the Titans game where they destroyed Burrow for 9 times, but Burrow still won that game. He's adjusting to the fact that he doesn't have a great O-line in front of him.
I mean, he's been sacked 12 times in the playoffs alone. Like,
yeah,
I think people fail to like he's getting sacked. He's getting pressure. He's able to not have to let that affect him. So
right. I think no one's saying. I mean, if you are saying that he's not going to get sacked, that's just wrong. He is, because O-line is not that good. I'm just stating the fact that he has adjusted to how his O-line has been playing. He's adjusted to the fact that people are taking away Jamar Chase, and that the Rams will probably do that because they'll probably have Ramsey on his side more often than not. And he's adjusted. He's made T. Higgins, the focal point of the offense during the Chiefs game. He has Tyler Boyd. He has, if Azuma plays, it's not that the Bengals don't have issues, like Jason brought up in our spaces earlier. It's just the fact that they've been able to adjust and overcome to all of them on the fly well
Hmm.
enough to get to this point. So
Right.
there's no reason to believe that they won't be able to do it in this game,
It's
honestly.
just about adjusting, I think, too, is
Right.
more. I think two things like, and when we talk about some of the props is getting Mixon involved in the receiving game if you need to, because the receivers are getting too heavily covered. And if that secondary can continue to step up because they have forced an interception every game this in the playoffs. So
Mhm.
if they can keep that up, and we know with Matt Stafford, if he's thrown interceptions in moments in high pressure where he really effed up, for lack of a better term. So I think if they can bring the pressure, they can use all the tools that they have at their disposal, then they definitely have the ability to win this game.
Yeah. And as much as it's being made about like the Rams defense, like you said, like the Bengals secondary, as much as it doesn't have any like no name uh, players except for like Apple, who names himself all the time. They played consistently well, and the D line, led by Hubbard and Hendrickson, has done great. And I think they'll be able to get pressure on Stafford, and we see that when if Stafford got hit as many times as Burrow did in the Titans game, he would have like been destroyed.
Yeah.
I just don't believe that Stafford is still like who he is. I don't think he's gonna, blow it like a lot of people like Stafford being Stafford. I don't think that's really a thing because I think the Rams Stafford and the Lions Stafford are two different players. But I do
Hmm.
think that he'll make one more error too much over what the Bengals will make. I'm not saying that Joe Burrow will play perfect. I just think that Stafford will make more errors, or someone will fumble the ball. And people forget like Cam Akers fumbled like a million times last game, so they're going to be looking for that. I mean, ball security is going to be a big thing. Whoever has the most turnovers is probably going to win this game. So I just think that Burrow will make less mistakes than Stafford will.
Okay.
Um, so, but we'll see.
So then let's go to the Rams side. What do you think the Rams need to do to secure a win here?
First, we have a question. Thoughts on Von Miller at Super Bowl MVP 34-1 odds, or Leonard Floyd 100-1 to
Yeah, we
1?
talked about this a little bit in Spaces and the IG Live. Like, I like a defensive player to win MVP if you're talking value on the MVP odds. I'm cool with both of them. I mean, it might come down to who was able to lead the defense and really take control of this game. So I'm cool with it. Even Aaron Donald, I would be okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't hate either of those. If you're going long shot, I mean, we know how the MVP goes. It's usually a quarterback. But I'm not totally against that if you're looking for value.
Yeah. I agree with it to a certain extent, but in that kind of like, it's always going to be a quarterback. I'd rather if you're doing a long shot, I'd rather throw it on an offensive player. That's why, like in spaces, I picked like T. Higgins because I feel like with the type of offenses that are going to be on the field, even if it isn't a quarterback for somehow, it's going to go to one of the receivers because that's what everyone talks about. I mean, if it's going to be a defensive player, it's probably going to be Aaron Donald. Let's be honest.
Hmm.
I don't see really anyone else unless like Von Miller has like 6 sacks or whatever and like 2 forced fumbles, and yeah, you have
He's
to give
been
it
here
to him.
before. He's done this
Yeah,
before.
he
So
has.
it's
Right.
an interesting, the Von Miller, that's an interesting one for sure. But again, with the MVP, I would rather chase value than anything else.
Right, exactly. So I there are better people that I would want to place a long shot bet on than those two guys.
Cool.
Hope that answers the question. And we have one from Andrea. Do you think Tyler Boyd is a sneaky play? Absolutely. I think that, we talked about it extensively how, the main focus of the Rams defense should be to take away Jamar Chase, and Joe Burrow is more than happy to go and pivot to Higgins and Boyd. I think they're going to be a really big key to the game, especially because after Ramsey, the Rams secondary isn't all that great. So that's something that Burrow and the Bengals offense can certainly exploit, especially as you said, Steph, they're going to probably abandon the running game relatively early. So Boyd is definitely a good play for me in this game.
Yeah, I don't disagree at all. I think looking, even the last game that they played, looking at the players that they were able to take out, I can imagine that the Rams are going to try to replicate that. So Boyd is obviously a good option. And like I was saying earlier, I like Mixon to get involved as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So moving, pivoting onto the Rams, I think for the Rams to win this game, I think they just need to play mistake-free football. Honestly, I think talent-wise, a lot of people would agree that the Rams are overall the better team, top to bottom. I just think that I think that Odell needs to be a bigger part. I think, Cooper Kupp is obviously going to be the primary focus as he should be. So it's going to be on Odell and Van Jefferson and Higbee to have big games. So if they can do that, I don't really trust Akers and the running game. If they lean on Michelle, I probably feel a little bit better about it. I just don't think Akers is ready to come back. I think they rushed him back too soon from his injury. I think he's a little bit rusty, and I wouldn't trust him in this big of a spot personally. But I think if they can keep the mistakes down, and I know it's a little bit cliche, but for Stafford, if he doesn't throw that stupid interception that he sometimes throws, they have a good chance of win this game on offense.
Right. And he can still throw an interception, but once it starts getting crazy and this dude's going 2-3 interceptions, then we have a whole nother story. So he definitely has to play as good as Matt Stafford can play. Like, I feel like a lot of my props and a lot of things I'm saying are knocking him, but like Matt Stafford is the guy that will do anything to win. That's why I like his rushing prop. Like, he is the guy that you want in this situation, as long as he doesn't get like that sweaty palms, nervous Matt Stafford. But again, I agree with you too. I think the run game by both teams, like maybe we won't see a lot, and I think there is a chance that Sony Michel gets more involved. Maybe they trust him a little bit more with the way that Cam Akers has been handling the ball, especially in these situations. I think partly it might come down to coaching too, like who can outcoach the other team. And I think that'll be big on the Rams. So as much as the defense is important, it's very much important for Stafford to another guy, right? Like Van Jefferson. I'd like to see him get a little bit involved, right? You still have that weapon there, use him. So I think that, again, like on paper, the Rams should win this game. They have every piece that they need. But there are ways to make some holes in this team so that you can monopolize and win.
Right, absolutely. And on defense, I just think the Rams just need to get pressure without blitzing because Joe Burrow is fantastic against the blitz. They don't have the secondary to hold up if they do blitz. They need Aaron Donald and Von Miller to be Aaron Donald and Von Miller. They need to do what everyone expects them to do and crush this Bengals offensive line that has been shaky at best lately. If they can't do that and they need to, start blitzing like corners and linebackers and stuff, Burrow has the talent on his side to tear them apart. So it's really important, really on both sides, that the defensive lines, show up and allow the back seven to cover the elite receivers that
complementary football. That's what we need out of the Rams. And I do think the defense is going to step up. I understand they've been like a little bit underwhelming for how they performed this season, but they were third in the league in sacks. Like 3 of the top 15 guys and sack leaders are on that team. So they have everything they need on defense to really try to stress out, especially that interior line of the Bengals.
Yeah. So we'll see. I think we both in our spaces, we both had the Bengals winning by, I think you had what, 30 to 27, 31-27.
I'm trying to stay like consistent because I was doing like so many shows at the beginning of the week. So my original, which is starting to trend in another direction, but as of now, which I can almost guarantee you is going to change, is 31-27 to the Bengals. But as you can tell, I do think this is going to be a closer game. And it's going to be kind of like most of the competitive games we've seen this season. Like I was, again, saying during Spaces, like these games don't start till the third, fourth quarter. That's why I'm staying away from the game totals and looking more towards the halves and the quarters, because we've just seen that consistently throughout the season.
Right. Yeah. It's like, okay, we're just going to play defense. And then all of a sudden, here's a quarter and then it's 56 points. Here we are. We're here.
Exactly. Right.
No, but I think like we're both comfortable with the over in this game. I have it 31-30 Bengals. I just don't see. I think the over under is just way too low for the kind of offenses these teams have. So in terms of props, I know you've been talking props a lot this week. What are some of your favorite props going into the game?
So one that I do like, and again, this will be repetitive for those that have been following along with me, but I think it's great. And it kind of plays into the total a little bit. I think both of these teams, play very conservatively, especially the Bengals in the first half. I like them to take the points where they can grab them.
Mhm.
And that's, you can make an argument for the going under or going over, because then when it goes wild in the fourth quarter, like we've seen, that number is going to get blown out of the water. But Evan McPherson over 1.5 field goals made feels like an absolute smash to me, especially inside at SoFi. I mean, he's been on fire. The Rams allow an average of 2 field goals to their opposing team, 1.4 at home. McPherson's like 20 for 20 on the road, 12 for 12 in the playoffs. I mean, like, he is one of their most reliable guys. And that's a awesome thing to have, because if you want to take the points, you're going to get them. There's not going to be a lot of doubt in him. So any chance they get, they can put McPherson out there and know that they're going to grab some points. So I really like him to go over 1.5 total made field goals. I think points for him was like 7.5, also like that. I like a lot, even Jason does too. I like a lot of the kicker and punter props.
Mhm. Yeah, there are a couple of really good ones in this game. For me, the ones that I picked were either Stafford or Burrow throwing 50 plus yard TD. I think with the weapons they have, I think it's pretty much guaranteed that there's going to be a defensive breakdown somewhere in this game, and someone's going to have a long TD. For fun, I did the coin flip as a heads. But one I really liked, and we touched on before, to your point about abandoning the running games, I really like Joe Mixon's rushing under. I think it's right now it's at 62.5 on DraftKings, and I just think that they're not going to have the Rams have a great run defense, and they're going to need to score points quick to keep up with each other. So I think that the rushing games are going to fall to the wayside, like you said, pretty quickly. So
Yeah,
I
which
like
is
that
why
one.
I like, not to interrupt you, but you're rattling them off, so I'm going to slow you down because you're so excited right now to
I'm
be
so
talking.
excited.
Is I do really like, and I saw the number dropped a little bit from when I saw it, is Joe Mixon over 24.5. I think Jason might have said he saw it at 24. I saw it at 25.5, but even at the 25.5, I mean, he has gone over this number in the playoffs. His last 5 games, he has 106 receiving yards just alone in this postseason. So I think, with my idea and going off, because I like to think of a story, how do we get to these props? So what do we think how the game's going to go if they do abandon the run? I think that the receivers are locked up, and Burrow's going to go to who he has as an option, and to me, that's Mixon. So I could see him stepping in and having that role in the receiving game, even if they abandon the running game.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that that kind of thing, like the complementary football. If you're not going to run with Mixon, and he's going to be on the field. You have to throw it to him because that's what it's going to have that outlet pass for Burrow. So that's a really good one as well. Are
Yeah.
there any like silly or novelty ones that jump out at you, or that you're gonna?
No, I haven't looked at those as much. Like I told Jason I'm gonna look into them and come up with a bunch for everyone, but I need to look more into them. Like the anthem and whatever. Everyone
Mhm.
loves those. I'll give 2 more Stafford ones
Go
just
for
because
it.
everyone knows I'm obsessed with interception props. I do like Stafford to throw over half an interception. He tied with Trevor Lawrence, had 17 on the year. And yes, he's only thrown one, but the Bengals have also forced at least one in every playoff game that they played. So I see him absolutely throwing one. I also like him to go over his 5.5 rushing yards. I know you don't think of him as the most mobile QB ever. I understand that. But
Mhm.
he's had 36 in the postseason. And I think, again, like I was saying, playing to the character and the player that Stafford is, I think he'll do anything he can to win.
Mhm.
So if he needs to pick up a couple yards, it doesn't take long to get to 5.5. I also don't hate Joe Burrows either, who has also been a little bit more mobile than people realize this season, which is probably due to that O-line play. I don't know how much the Rams D is going to let him scramble, but again, 11.5, you can add that up as long as he doesn't go for a loss. But I like both of those because I don't want to be too negative. I think Stafford is going to be fine, but I
Yeah,
feel like I've been knocking him so much, and
you have
I am rooting
not
for
been.
Stafford. I adore him. Like I think he deserves it, and it's a great story. But again, I still think he's gonna throw. Like, it's happening.
Hmm. Yeah. One of the novelty ones that I like, it was just as a like a shit and giggles kind of thing, is the jersey number of the first touchdown scorer. It's over 23 and a half. So I think a lot of people are expecting, Chase and or Cup to score first.
Mhm.
So if it's really anybody else but them, uh, it's a good bet. It's right now it's at plus 110 on DraftKings. So that's a fun little bet that I'd like to maybe throw a little something on for the
Yeah.
game. There's also one that will any kick hit the uprights? So
Oh,
the way field goal kicking has gone this year, I wouldn't mind maybe throwing a little something on that too.
yeah. It gets real degenerate. Like this is
It
like
does.
it's
It's
like makes it
crazy.
so fun to just let's get freaking weird with it. Like I want
Mhm.
to bet on the puppy bowl and get all crazy.
Yeah, do some cross sport betting with the Puppy Bowl.
Yeah.
There you go. All right. Well, that'll do it for this episode of Every Day is Draft Day. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're enjoying all the Super Bowl coverage we're having here at Champions Round. Also, don't forget we have a ton of giveaways going on currently. Right now, we have a Jalen Ramsey jersey, a Jamar Chase helmet, Matt Stafford helmet, and Cooper Cup helmet, all on seventh
Ah,
place games, all on Champions Round. So go check all of them out. There's some great giveaways going on there for people that win those contests. So be sure to go on, sign up, and go win some fun stuff.
do it. Love
All
it.
right, everyone, have a great weekend. Have a great Super Bowl. I hope the team that you root for wins. I hope that the team I pick wins, and we all
And
make
put in the comments your favorite prop bet, or it could be a novelty, like a one of the
any
chaotic
kind of
ones too.
prop. If you have to do the
Drop a
halftime
comment.
show, what song people are going to sing,
Yeah,
anything. Just
yeah.
just drop it right down there. Let us know what you think. All right, everyone, have
Okay.
a great weekend, and we'll see you next week.
See you guys.